Greetings, dear readers. This is Reader's Realm Ambience, a place where stories step off the page and surround you. I'm Pages, your feline guide to the realm. If our stories make you purr with delight, be sure to like and subscribe. Now is the time to find your quiet corner, settle in, and let the world outside fade away. Because this spooky story is about to begin.
Woof, 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 the dogs rule the house. My friends and I are chanting and laughing as we watch our university football team trounce our biggest rival for the third year in a row. Being juniors, our school has been on a winning streak since our admission, and all signs point to another championship year. Yes, I do think it has to do with us. We are, of course, the Fantabulous Four. Angie and I have been besties since our first day of middle school. We were, and still are, complete opposites in personality and looks. I'm the stereotypical blonde, blue-eyed, perky cheerleader type, while Angie has chestnut hair, brown eyes, and prefers the quiet of the library to my happy chaos. We were both new to the school that year and found ourselves looking for a friendly face in the cafeteria. My blue eyes met her brown ones, and I quickly moved to sit down next to her. We started talking, and now it's hard to imagine a time when she was not my best friend. We found that our differences created a needed balance. If it were not for me, Angie would never pull her nose out of her sci-fi books. Absent her strict rule about studies before play, I would never have passed my classes. We have been there for each other through first boyfriends, first kisses, first loves, heartbreak, and more. It was after we watched the movie Practically Magic that we got the idea to become Blood Sisters. Angie found a spell for us in one of her witchcraft novels. All it took was a simple incantation, 2 pinpricks, the joining of our bloody fingers, and we were forever bound. Angie met Jamal towards the end of freshman year when she dragged me to the university sci-fi convention. She fell hard. Jamal is pretty much the male version of Angie. He is an alpha geek, you know the type, super smart, and very good looking. Jamal's totally hot. Best bro Blaine, a finance major, turned out to be my soulmate. He recently proposed, and of course, I said yes. The wedding will be held the summer following graduation. Angie will obviously be my maid of honor, and Jamal will be Blaine's best man. I have already started planning, and with my parents' generous budget, the wedding will be epic. I have been thinking about a Victorian romance theme with tons of roses and Earth to Katie. Guys, I think we lost Katie. Angie's laughing words interrupt my thoughts. My bad, I say, as I rejoin the current conversation. Everything's just so perfect, I exclaim. It's a beautiful autumn afternoon, and I'm surrounded by my pack. The beer is ice, our team is fire, and tonight we are going to FestEvil. That statement makes Angie frown. I know you like the idea of getting jump scared, but I prefer my sci-fi in a book, not IRL, she clarifies. I am only going because you all want to, and Jamal has promised to hold my hand the whole time. With dramatic flair, Jamal takes Angie's hand and says, "Don't worry, I'll be the solo to your Leia." Blaine rolls his eyes but laughs. Those of us who live in reality do not fear such things, he jokingly boasts. It not only sounds like fun, but I'm considering an investment in the AI company and want to see it in action. We all laugh. Of course, that's why Blaine wants to go. Blaine told me earlier that he is eager to experience Reflections, the newest haunted house which integrates advanced AI technology, laser lighting, and repurposed decor. Me, I just enjoy the rush of a good haunted house, especially one with jump scares. Angie and I need a refresh, I say, and we agree to meet the guys at the FestEvil gate in 2 hours. I can't believe I got separated from the group. When we entered the festival, we promised Angie we would all stay together. I didn't break that promise on purpose, and I know Angie will be annoyed, but this house is super lit. The mirrors display distorted reflections and spooky AI creations, and laser lights are themed and timed to enhance the disturbing atmosphere. There is a main pass-through, but there are also several side rooms to explore. They twist and turn, making the house feel endless. I am in the process of making my way back to the group when I find myself completely alone in one of the side rooms. This room has soft golden strobe lighting as well as amber lights that twinkle. It is mesmerizing. Although the room is dimly lit, it has a burnished glow. The decor here is old attic spooky. Whoever put this room together should find work in Hollywood. It feels as if multiple generations of a family stored their stuff in here, lost it to time, and now each piece is more than what it once was, and not in a good way. As I turn to leave, I catch my reflection in a full-length antique mirror. I immediately notice the beautiful but time-weathered gilded roses, and OMG, I look amazing. I mean, wow. Even in the dim light, I can see that the shine on my hair is glistening, my makeup is perfection, and my body is fire. I know that I am pretty, but this mirror makes me look top of the top. I look like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed version of a Kardashian. Actually, make that better than a Kardashian. I literally cannot stop looking at myself and am a little annoyed that the others are not here to witness me in all my glory. I remember the "no cameras allowed" sign at the entrance, but reach for my cell phone anyway. I can't wait to show this to the others. I blow a kiss to myself and my perfection. Click and image captured. I then hurry to find the trio. As I exit the house, I see that Angie and the guys have scored some lattes and are waiting for me. Approaching Angie, I immediately apologize and quickly explain about the room and the magical mirror within. She admits she had fun and readily forgives my transgression. She really is a great best friend. I pull out my phone and display my picture. See, I brag as I hold the screen towards them. Just look at what the AI in this mirror did to my reflection. Oddly, their reactions are not the ooh and ah sounds I expected. They silently glance from the screen to me with looks of confusion. Not understanding, I turn the screen around so that I can see it, and I get the strangest feeling of sadness and despair in the pit of my stomach. The picture is of me, blowing a kiss. Sadly, I don't look like the perfect image of me I remember. I look like my naturally pretty self, but there is a second reflection of me in the mirror, just behind the first one. The reflection is equally pretty, but possesses a large and dreadfully disturbing smile. "You always look hot to me, babe," Blaine jokes. But that look is more fatal attraction than hot perfection. The three of them laugh. Looking at the picture is unsettling, so I close my phone and try to shrug off the feeling. The image must have changed as I snap the picture, I explain. Blaine thinks that is awesome. He starts prattling about the impressive AI and getting his father to invest, but I find it hard to concentrate on his words. My thoughts are still fixated on that awful image as I hear Jamal suggest we check out some rides. Angie says that she is tired and wants to head home. She and I share an off-campus apartment, and as I would never let my bestie leave alone, I agree to head back with her. It's been a great day, but a long one, and I secretly hope that a good night's sleep will right whatever is suddenly wrong with my mood. As sunlight begins to shine through the windows, I awaken. As I open my eyes, my nose promptly recognizes the aroma of percolating coffee, and my ears hear the buzz of an electric toothbrush, indicating that Angie is already up and in our shared bathroom. I close my eyes, pull the pillow over my head, and attempt to steal a few more minutes of the sleep I failed to get last night. Angie enters my room, notes that I am still in bed, and questions whether I am well. Her concern stems from the fact that I am typically the first one awake and ready. "I'm not sure," I groan. I tossed and turned all bloody night. "Have you ever felt like you were having a recurring nightmare but can't remember any of it?" I ask. Angie shakes her head no and gives me a measuring look. She then places her palm on my forehead and proclaims me fever-free. "Thanks, Dr. Mom," I joke. But rather than laughing, the joke makes me feel sad. Strange. I push her hand away, telling her I am simply tired and that she should go to class without me. My grades are good, So I decide to skip my morning classes and take my time getting ready. Like the best friend she is, Angie brings me a cup of coffee before she heads out. I promise to pull myself together and meet her and the guys at our usual spot for lunch. Hearing her lock the door as she leaves, I remain in bed sipping my coffee and searching for the energy to begin my day. I do a few easy stretches and pull up a motivational podcast on my cell. As I listen, I rapidly realize the words of encouragement are annoying me more than motivating me. I typically wake up happy and ready to carpe diem, but today I cannot seem to shake this blue mood. I drag myself still sleepy-eyed to the bathroom and splash cold water on my face, hoping that it will help. Eyes closed, I fumble for a nearby towel, pat my face dry, open my eyes, and scream. I see my tired reflection staring back at me, but that is not all I see. To my absolute shock and fright, I also see a second reflection of myself staring back at me with an eerie and oversized smile. I quickly turn around, but I am alone. I shake my head, half laughing at myself while thinking that Angie was right to avoid haunted houses. When I return my gaze to the mirror, I see my reflection, normal but tired. However, there is still a second reflection that is decidedly not normal, and it wears a very disturbing, over-wide smile. I turn around once more, but again, there is no one behind me. I return my gaze to the mirror. I alternately turn my head from side to side and move my arms up and down. One reflection mimics my movements perfectly. The other does not move with me, but simply stares at me with that awful smile. I sense a dark despair behind that smile, and I feel an inexplicable pull tugging me down, down, down into that despair. I startle as my cell phone rings. Turning toward the sound, I break my connection to the mirror. I rush to my nightstand to answer and see that Angie is calling me. "Stop worrying and go to class," I command instead of saying hello. "What do you mean, go to class?" Angie asks. "We're all waiting for you at the dog bowl." "Were you still asleep? Did I just wake you?" I hesitate, unsure how to respond. I look at the time on my phone and I'm shocked to see that it is 1:30 p.m. Yeah, I fell back to sleep, I stammer as my mind races and the room seems to spin. "Go ahead and eat without me. I'll just stay in and rest." "Well," Angie says, "you can't be perky all of the time." She tells me to feel better and I hit end call. How can it possibly be 1:30 p.m.? It was 7:30 a.m. when Angie left the apartment. I mentally retrace my steps. A shudder racks my entire body as I remember the mirror and its two reflections. But after that, all I can remember is the phone ringing. How could 6 hours have passed? Was I staring at the mirror all that time? How is that even possible? I feel my stomach lurch and realize I need to calm myself down. I take a few deep yoga breaths and try to piece my thoughts together. I convince myself that I had been dreaming. I obviously fell asleep after Angie left, and my overactive imagination created a nightmare about that dreadful image in the haunted house photo. It was probably the same nightmare that kept me from getting a good night's sleep in the first place. I still feel uneasy, but that is the only explanation that would make it make sense. I still feel so very tired. Even though a part of me is now afraid to close my eyes, I crawl back into bed and almost immediately am asleep. I burst into our apartment, slamming the door behind me and startling Angie, who was busy poring over her books. I am wet from both rain and tears, crying hysterically as I throw myself face down on my bed. Angie rushes to my side. "What happened?" she softly asks, and I can hear the fear and concern in her voice. "Blaine and I are over," I managed to stutter. "He told me he no longer feels ready for marriage and said that he needs space. It has been 3 weeks since FestEvil and my perfect life has disintegrated. I see that damned smile in every reflection. It is in mirrors, windows, screens, every shining surface. I have tried to look away and to pretend it isn't there. All reflective surfaces in the apartment are covered with blankets and sheets. I tried to tell Blaine what has been happening to me, but that pompous a-hole doesn't believe me and accused me of being extra. I spend my days fighting against panic attacks and shedding uncontrollable tears. No matter how much I sleep, I am always tired. Too tired to do my hair or put on makeup. I am too tired to study and too tired to go out. My grades are falling and my parents are angry. No one understands. No one except for Angie. She is the sole person who believes me, even though when she looks at my reflection in the mirror, all she sees is me, or at least the shadow of myself that has been left by the monster haunting me. Standing by me has caused problems for Angie and Jamal. Jamal is loyal to Blaine and blames me for instigating conflict. He told Angie that I'm a pick-me girl and she should distance herself from me. She refused, and I am grateful, or I would be grateful if I could feel grateful. All I can feel is sadness, gloom, and despair. It eats me up inside, and the pain it causes is both mental and physical. I see my pain reflected in Angie's troubled eyes. She wants to help, but doesn't know how. She saw the image in the photo that night, and while the guys still believe it was only an AI creation, Angie now believes it was something supernatural. While my life has been imploding, she has been deep in paranormal studies. She continues to search for an explanation for the unexplainable. I think I may have found something, she says, generating a small seed of hope. She explains that the typical online searches led her into some atypical paranormal communities involving hauntings, witchcraft, and more. It was in one of these chats that a person told her a story about a smile demon named Cheshra. This demon had once roamed the earth, preying upon the vanity of beautiful people. She would possess them, feed upon their soul, and alter their moods, driving them mad bit by bit, while forcing them to wear her overly wide, evil smile. I gasp. You think I am possessed by Cheshra? I ask in a whisper. Not quite, Angie replies. There's more, if you're ready to hear it. I fear what she has to say, but signal for her to continue. From that chat, I began to research Cheshra specifically, and I came across an urban legend about a smile demon who was supposedly trapped in an enchanted mirror. Angie pauses to check my reaction. Seeing me nod, she continues. From the description of the demon, I believe it was Cheshra. This led me to search for information on enchanted or possessed mirrors, which led me to a witch's grimoire. Katie, she says excitedly, I think the witch's spellbook holds the answer. I want to say that her story sounds crazy, that I cannot be possessed by a demon, but I have no logical explanation to offer. I try to dry my endless tears and instruct her to tell me all that she knows. The grimoire was owned by a white witch whose daughter had recently married. While shopping to furnish her new home, the daughter purchased a beautiful full-length mirror bordered by gilded roses. Katie, the same things happening to you happened to this girl. The witch, desperate to free her daughter, searched for a spell and found one using black magic. It looks like the spell worked. The back of the spellbook has notes made by the daughter after her possession by the demon. We can free you, Angie exclaims. I want to join in her optimism but feel a fresh wave of despair wash over me. FestEvil ends next week. We can sneak in tonight after closing, Angie continues, already making plans. All I can do is cry. The air is crisp, and there is no moon as we sneak into FestEvil and the haunted house known as Reflections. We carry small flashlights, but will not use them until we are inside for fear of being discovered. We fight our mutual terror as we bump and stumble, sisters, holding hands, and slowly make our way to the house. No matter what happens, please know that I will always be grateful for your friendship and loyalty. I sob as we enter and move closer towards the room with the rose-gilded mirror. Please remember that for me in case I can't remember it myself, I beg. You are my best friend, my sister, and I love you always. "We got this," Angie replies. I force myself to look into the mirror and at the two images looking back. Now that we are here, we do not hesitate, and immediately recite the incantation from the witch's grimoire, hands held tight. I feel the room spin. I feel Angie's hand leave mine, and for a long, sickening moment, the flashlights go dark. As light and vision return, the first thing I see is a look of sheer horror on Angie's face. I am no longer standing next to her, but am facing her. I attempt to reach for her, but am held in place by something I cannot see. Then, as all the sadness, gloom, and despair I have felt these past weeks magnifies and embeds deep within me, I realize I am not being held, but am trapped. No! I want to scream, but I can only smile as I view my best friend from my place inside the mirror. No! Angie is screaming. This is not supposed to happen, she cries out. What went wrong? It is then that I hear the soft voice of a teenage girl and notice her ghostly presence. Thank you for releasing me from the witch's curse. I am truly sorry you must now take my place, but I was trapped for a very long time, the voice sadly says to me. I realize Angie can hear and see the ghost as well, as she bravely commands it to return to the blazing pit it calls home. Turn away from the mirror, witch, the soft voice sternly orders Angie, lest you be trapped yourself. Angie's eyes grow wide as she spins her back towards the mirror, while I stand frozen, smiling at the back of my best friend. The ghost sadly speaks again. Cheshire was long ago banished to the inferno by a witch who used a black magic spell to free her daughter, the vision says. A white witch should have known there would be a high price to pay for doing so. While the spell worked, the black magic doomed the witch to take her daughter's place in the mirror, and, twisted by the magic of prior enchantment, it marred the witch with Cheshire's smile, and imparted the mirror with Cheshire's hunger for a soul. Devastated, the daughter sought the help of the witch's coven, her blood sisters. Because of the combined magic now held within the mirror, their spells were not strong enough to release the witch. Rather, their white magic protectively wrapped itself around their sister's mind and soul, saving what it could. Angry and hungry, the mirror agreed to release the witch if she would trap another soul to take her place. Horrified, the witch knew she could never do such a thing, but the witch did not realize how long never would be. Because of their magic and blood bonds, her sisters could visit her. She watched them, and her daughter, and her granddaughter, and her great-granddaughter all grow old until there was no one left to visit, as there was no one left alive who remembered the witch. All this time, the witch's sadness and despair grew as the mirror changed hands, was discarded, was found, and then endlessly changed hands again. One day, a young woman stood before the mirror, twisting and turning, slowly admiring her beautiful reflection, and the witch could stand it no more. She used her power to possess the woman, and thereby make her own escape. The black magic cursed its new victim with the demon's smile, while the white magic guarded her mind and soul. And so the cycle began, and was repeated many, many times before I was the one to find myself trapped. I've waited a very long time for my own freedom. As you can see, I have existed beyond my own life on this planet, as I have no more life to live. I can see her, Angie cries, and I can hear you. Yes, witch, came the reply. Blood bonds are strong, and may now be tainted by your own use of black magic. Supernatural awareness may be your curse, but beware. Should you glance too long at your sister, it might be you who takes her place. But, Angie begins to say when she is cut off, no, I have stayed too long and already I see the light dimming. It is beautiful, we hear the girl say as her spectral presence fades. Wait, please, Angie pleads, but there is no response as the presence is gone. I have listened to their conversation and now know my fate. I remain in the mirror, desperately sad, yet smiling. Escape is possible if I am willing to doom another. Not Angie, not anyone. Never, I question, as I remember my parents and the life I have not yet lived. I will find another way to free you, Angie says with conviction, but she doesn't turn back to look at me. I can't blame her. The temptation to free myself is strong. She stands there back to me, crying for a very long time. Mournfully, I can only watch her with a wide grin on my face as she walks away, carrying 2 flashlights, leaving me trapped in a mirror in a haunted house in the dark.
As I leave the bookstore, my steps leading me back to my apartment, I catch the end of a news broadcast through a coffee shop window. Katie's parents are on the screen, begging for information that will aid them in finding their missing daughter. Blaine, Jamal, and I were questioned by the police. The last time I saw the guys was at the station that day. I cannot bear to watch them going about their happy lives, while I am burdened by the truth, aware that things supernatural are also real. As I watch the television, I catch a glimpse of Katie in the reflection of the window. Her image haunts me now. I feel the pull of her sad eyes and demonic smile. Unsure of the way in which the black magic affects her or me, I force myself to quickly turn away. The fact that we are inseparable, bonded by blood, brings me small comfort and tremendous grief. I quietly repeat my vow to find a way to free Katie without trapping someone else. Until that time, no matter how much I miss her or how powerfully I am drawn to her twisted image, I must always turn away.
Oh, that gave me shivers. Don't stare too long, or you may be the one trapped. Explore our other Ambience worlds and join me next month for another original short story. The realm is never far.